Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asma Shirazi and I am a TV journalist. Today I have a very important guest with me and he is director of KHAYAL movie, Aayan Abbas. I'm going to ask very important questions to him on this movie. Ali, could you tell me please how did your production skills develop throughout this product?
Yeah. Firstly, it's an honor meeting with you. So throughout this project, my production skills developed a lot. Like basic to actually understanding how real media production works. At the start, I didn't really have a clear idea of how structure a film opening, how to structure a film opening properly. But as I worked on my psychological thriller, I started understanding how important planning is, especially things like short selection, pacing, and how each scene connects to the narrative. Let me give you an example. I learned how to use close-ups and to show emotion, especially in opening scene where the character reads hateful messages. That helped me build a stronger connection between audience and the character. When it comes to filming, I improved a lot in terms of camera work. Initially, my shots were quite random, but later I started being more intentional. I used a tripod for stable shots and handheld shots for realism, which actually matches conventions of psychological thrillers. I also learned how lighting affects mood, like using low lighting and darker tones to create a serious and intense atmosphere. Yeah, the biggest improvement it was in editing. I used CapCut, and over time, I learned how to control pacing and tension. At first, I was just cutting clips, but later I started thinking how editing can tell the story. For example, I used cuts for impact, fade to black transitions, and added overlays like chat messages to make opening more engaging. I also worked on color grading by lowering brightness and adding slightly warm but dark tone to match the mood of the film. Yeah, I know editing. It's been a while. It's been 5 years I know editing, but it was very hectic. And it was very long. The project, of course, and it took a lot of effort. So I had to manage and I had to put in all the effort at that time to like motivate myself as well. And it also helped me to like, for example, the graphics and the text. The text graphics, they were also very that was very difficult, so it took me a lot of time, but actually got to learn some new things, and it was fun because for the first time I actually did that thing, adding the graphics, and I liked that. In sound design, it was another area where I improved a lot. I didn't realize before how powerful sound is, but in this project I used strong violin based music to build suspense. I also added sound effects like glass breaking, footsteps, and knives to sounds to enhance realism. I learned how to balance audio levels and use silence to create tension, which actually is a key convention in the thriller film. And of course, violin sound. I always love to watch these sad movies and of course about romantic, sad, and thrillers. So I actually liked violin a lot. When it comes into play, it actually gets into your heart. So that's something which I actually liked about violin. I also developed skills in using online technologies for research and inspiration. I looked at psychological thrillers like Joker and other independent films to understand how they represent mental health and emotion. This helped me make my project more realistic and meaningful, especially since it focuses on social issues like bullying and mental pressure. Another important thing is that I learned how to work within a low budget as a student. I didn't have access to expensive equipment. So like I used a smartphone, basic lighting. Of course, I had a lighting stand, a proper setup in my house. I have a proper studio setup in my house because I told you that my parents are journalists, but I used that setup. But it's a minimal setup, not a proper studio like stuff. So I used that. Whatever I had, I used it. Like basic lighting and free editing softwares as well, but I could have used CapCut. I told you the reason that I could not, because I did not want to take help from anyone. This was totally on me, and I'm just learning CapCut at the moment, but I'm not that good at it. I've been learning it from the past like 5 to 6 months, but I'm not that good at it. It is something which but it actually helped me become more creative and focus more on storytelling rather than just visuals, which is something a lot of independent films do. I think my production skills developed in every stage, planning to filming, editing, and sound. I went from just making a video to actually creating a media product that follows the genre conventions, uses theory and communicate clear messages to the audience. And I actually love it. I actually love to do I actually thought about making a film, but of course it was not possible. But and media, this of course this idea, everything, this khayal, the title, the film. This, when we thought about doing it, this gave me an idea, and it actually made my little dream come true that I am making my own opening scene or a film. So yeah, of course it will motivate me to further do it as well, further continue with this thing, and I might make a full movie anytime. Lastly, of course, there were a lot of I did a lot of retakes and stuff. We thought about it. We, at the moment over there, we rechecked the shots and we sat over there. We saw the footages and then we tried to compile them. But then we found some places I made a lot of mistakes. But it actually helped me improve. At the end, I was very happy when I was done with my project. I was very happy. So this is something that I learned a lot. Main thing was patience and all of these things. And of course, I was very excited for it, and I wanted to get the best out of it, which I got.
Thank you so much, Ali, for being with me, and you were great regarding this movie. Wonderful work. Thank you so much.
Of course, it's a pleasure meeting with you and talking to you about it and share my ideas. Of course, something big for me, and I hope you also watch it and you will also enjoy it. Thank you.